So we had two runners at Sandown on Saturday, what was obviously pretty testing conditions after all the rain that we'd had. Whiskey Express, her reappearance, and she just didn't look happy at all, and probably both going to say similar things about both runners, but yeah, Whiskey Express in particular didn't look to be in love with conditions, and although she finished a distant fourth, we'll give her the benefit of the doubt and look to run her on better ground the next day, and hopefully see an improved performance. So Love Envoi ran obviously in what turned out to only be a 4-runner fighting fifth, but it was a very strange race to watch from our point of view. It looked like, and Johnny said it certainly felt like she went round with the handbrake on from the minute they jumped off. Whether she didn't get into stride, she didn't jump. So quite why we don't know. A bit of a head scratcher, and actually we were quite relieved and amazed that she managed to get up to finish second, because for a long way it looked like she wouldn't necessarily even finish, let alone place. So to get herself into sort of challenging position between the last two, sort of credit to Johnny, and just her sort of sheer ability got her there, because she, whatever reason, she just wasn't happy, wasn't really at the races. Take nothing away, obviously, from the winner, who was very impressive and a previous winner of the race, and actually the only Grade 1 winner in the lineup. So, but from our point of view, it was a bit of a head scratcher. She's come out of the race absolutely fine, which is the main thing, and she obviously, her last run at Punchdown, she didn't have a good experience, having picked up an injury, so maybe she was still just thinking about that. So we'll be hoping that we can put that run behind her the next day, which, all being well, we'll be back at Sandown for the race that she won last year in early January. So we're off to Wincanton tomorrow, where they've got a rearranged fixture. And we've got Queen Annie running in the Mayor's Novice Hurdle. It's a step up in trip for her, which should definitely suit. She ran a sort of pleasing enough debut over hurdles when finishing third, but we'll be looking to see her jump better. But I think the step up in trip should help that, and she obviously should have no problem with the ground, which is pretty testing, having won a heavy ground bumper at Chepstow. So hoping that she can build on her first run. And then we've got Great Name That. Likewise, we're hoping that he can build on his chasing debut around Exeter. We're slightly down in grade, which should suit, and we've got first time cheap pieces on, so that hopefully just sharpen him up. And finally, we've got Hot Rod Lincoln, who we can probably forgive him his last run. He scoped poorly post-race, so he's cleared up now, thankfully. And slight drop in trip as well, but on testing ground that shouldn't be a problem. And hopefully he'll run a better race than obviously he did on his reappearance. So we're hoping that we'll get 2 divisions of the novice hurdle at Taunton, and we'll be able to run Coastal Rock and Giza Rockstar, who both be making their hurdling debuts. Coastal Rock was very green when he ran in his bumper in the spring, but he's done well over the summer, and looking forward to getting him started this season over hurdles. And likewise, Giza Rockstar, he's potentially a nice novice hurdler to look forward to, having made a winning racecourse debut in a bumper at Taunton, in fact. So he's been a little bit unlucky with sort of abandonments and ballots and things, so we'd have liked to have run him by now, but just the way it's fallen. But he's ready to get started, so 2 nice hurdling debutants to look forward to. And we've got High Mac also on the same card, who's going to make his second start over fences, having just lost his confidence a bit as the race progressed at Chepstow on his chasing debut. So he's back in against novices this time, so that should suit him, and the step up and trip should be no problem at all. I'm Harry Fry.
What's your specialist subject?
Me.
Can you name your first winner under rules and the jockey who rode it?
Yeah, Highland Retreat at Exeter, Mr. Jack Barber, Amateur Riders, yeah.
Which course have you had the most winners at during your career?
Exeter.
What was Rock on Ruby's winning margin in the 2012 Champion Hurdle at Cheltenham?
I don't know. He won. From Overturn. I can tell you Overturn was second, yeah. Can't remember, yeah, but he won, that's what mattered.
What was You Know What I Mean Harry's price in his victory at the 2016 Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle at Cheltenham?
I want to say 11 to 1.
Who rode him that day?
Oh, Noel Feely.
In a bit of a puzzles victory at Fairyhouse in the Mayor's Novice Hurdle Championship final in 2015, the horses that came second, third and fourth all belonged to which trainer?
Willie Mullins.
Can you name the horses?
No. Doesn't matter, we won.
How much did Rock on Ruby sell for as a foal and then again as a 4-year-old?
Was it the same amount? 23,000?
Exactly.
Yeah.
When did Paul Nicholls start training?
Oh, no, I wouldn't know.
1991.
91, okay.
How old were you then?
4, 5, yeah.
Who bought Love Envoi for you in March 2021?
Well, I think Jerry McGrath bought her for the Noel Feely Syndicate, yeah.
Who rode her to her first victory for you later that year?
Lorcan Murta was on board at Leicester.
Who was Mai Tai second to in the Grade 1 Mersey Novices Hurdle?
I should know this. It was a Gordon Elliott horse. Three Stripes Life.
That's right.
Is that right? Yeah.
Who was the runner-up to Boot Hill in last year's Wayward Lad?
Good question. They say never remember the runners-up. It's all about winning. Orcan Risk. Yeah, I should know that because then he went and won the Betfair Hurdles. So, yeah.
And lastly, who rode more winners for you? AP McCoy or Richard Johnson?
AP?
Yep, that's right. AP 5 winners and Johnson 4.
Okay, yeah. So Marcus Armitage's article, we interviewed the vet Gemma Pearson, bringing up the defence of our sport, and whether it was gone about in the right way has certainly got people talking. I mean, my view of the Grand National on the occasion I was there on the day, I think actually the antis, as we call them, were solely to blame for what actually happened. It created a frenzied atmosphere. The horses were unsettled, the riders were unsettled, and the whole thing was, in my opinion, their doing. How we went about defending ourselves, defending the sport, I think we've got to be transparent. And yes, I take their points on from the article that we have to listen to the views that we don't necessarily agree with, but we've got to listen to them for sure. And I'm not saying we have to go out and appease them, but we have to hear what they have to say and take it on board and consider their thoughts and their thinking. As a sport, we've always got to strive to look to move forward and with the times. But yeah, I think engagement is always key in trying to make right decisions. At the end of the day, I think we will trust ourselves as horsemen to know the sport, the horses, and spend more time thinking about welfare of these wonderful animals more than anything. I trust and back ourselves as a sport to get it right, and I think we will do that in the long run, definitely.